My name is Karila, and I am from a company called the Starlight Temple. And Starlight is a company that offers channeled and spiritual practices and courses that are about becoming more empowered, that are of assistance to our ascension at this spectacular time that we are living through. And yeah, I feel so over the years of co-creating Starlight with my guides, I have sat getting ready for many different webinars on many different subjects, and I've never quite had the feeling that I've had with this one. There's just so much energy in this topic. And when I was tuning in to this webinar, I could feel this really deep emotion inside of me. And I was listening to what that emotion was. And I was like, what's that emotion? And as I was listening to it, I realized that it was my bravery. And I was like, that's interesting. How is bravery connected to body love? And then I realized that our bodies, they are our habitual consciousness. So our body is the part of us that we repeat. You know, our cells are literally made of repetition. And in when you kind of look at the like structures of consciousness, our body is the habitual consciousness. And I had this flash realization that your body and your habitual consciousness is what you're used to. It's what you're comfortable with. And that's why I was sitting on the precipice of this webinar, being like, I feel like I need to be brave. And that feeling, it wasn't coming, you know, from a part of my mind or my identity. It was coming from a deep knowing within me that was like, oh, because this is change. You know, when you change the part of you that's comfortable, then you change. And why I'm so excited that you have all been called to this introduction to Bodylove is because when I first got the guidance about it, and I am going to hand over to the guides very, very soon, but when I first got the guidance about it, I was just like, wow. You know, I have not been looking after these 4 areas. So what happened is I was in Japan, and some of you will know that every eclipse window, Starlight Temple offers what's called shadow work. Shadow work is working with your deep subconscious, and it is about creating change in what you're manifesting, because we manifest out of our consciousness and out of our deep subconscious. And the best time to do shadow work, and shadow work sounds scary, it's not, it's just working with your unconscious, it's working with the part of you that you haven't seen. The best time to do shadow work is an eclipse window. Every time I do shadow work in an eclipse window, it's showing up in the map of my life by the next eclipse window. So eclipse windows are the time, I believe, that we are meant to do our big transformational processes within the year. There's usually 2 eclipse windows a year. And so when I was in Japan, last month, I just got what's called a download, which is when you get so much information all at once. And I was meant to be listening to a meditation from my amazing teacher, and instead I'm just getting this download about this eclipse window. And what the guys were saying to me in the download, they were like, this eclipse window is about embodiment. And they were like, the reason that so many people are not embodying their higher selves, the reason that so many people are having these incredible experiences spiritually, emotionally, energetically, in ceremony, with plant medicines, they're having these amazing higher self journeys when they're in the ceremony. And then it's not showing up in their everyday lives. It's not showing up in their everyday personalities. It's not showing up in their everyday. They were like, it's because you're not changing. You're not changing the everyday rituals of your body. They were like, you haven't changed the container, which is the body. You haven't changed it. You're still running that, you've done all of this inner work, but you're still running the old paradigm in your cells and through your habits. And they were like, we're not talking about your ability to manifest or have a cup of cacao or do self-love affirmations. They were like, how are you loving yourself in the way that you eat, in the way that you rest, in the way that you exercise, and in the way that you make yourself beautiful? And I was just like, I actually did this to myself, because I was like, yeah, those areas, they have improved a bit, but they definitely haven't up-leveled to the level that my energy body and my manifestation body and all of those parts of me now operate. And what the guide showed me is that actually nearly everybody is still operating from separation consciousness, from trauma consciousness, from unlovedness. The stories of your unlovedness, they're still playing out in those everyday rituals, in the way that you eat, in the way that you exercise, in the way that you rest, and in the way that you make yourself beautiful. And I don't know if you're resonating with what I'm saying. These, for me, all of those areas, when I get triggered or when I get stressed, those are the areas I drop the ball on. Those are the areas where I drop the ball, Suddenly I'm back not eating properly, or exercise I drop the ball on so much, And if I'm busy, it's like, oh, I'm too busy to go to yoga today, And what the guides showed me is they were like, but that's how you're living your love. That's how you are living your love. They were like, the affirmations, the visualizations, the energy work, that stuff's amazing, but it can't embody unless these rituals change. And, then they started to download to me all the different ways, and the different ways are endless, because we can neglect our body by not eating properly. We can punish our bodies by eating too much or eating the wrong stuff. Then there's the inner conversation. Then there can be, you can be really good at exercise, but you can still be doing it unconsciously, or you can be overdoing it, or you can be underdoing it. This is a deeply intimate way of meeting your self-love. And the invitation from the guides especially if any of you are feeling like you struggle to integrate, or feeling like the distance between your ceremonial self and your everyday self is quite far away. The invitation from the guides is to, look at how you're body loving, because your affirmations, your visualizations, that's mind loving. Okay, your ceremonies and your energy practices, this is energy body loving. But these 4 ways, these everyday things, they are how you body love. And the guides go on to say really interesting stuff about what these areas teach us. Food is about how you receive, exercise is about how you believe in yourself, rest is about how you accept yourself, and beauty is about how much life force energy you let flow through you. And of course, any of these on any extreme, or coming through an unconscious trauma pattern, or coming through an unhealthy pattern, that's going to have an effect on your ability to believe in yourself, your ability to accept yourself, your ability to let your life force energy and your creative energy flow through you. Those of you that struggle to manifest, you need to look at how beautiful you are allowing yourself to be. And so how we body love is through these rituals. And why I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, I need to be brave for this, is because as soon as I got this download, I was like, okay, I'm aware, and I've just been like changing very slightly these things. I haven't done the deep dive yet. I've just been changing it very, very slightly and going, okay, be a bit more, don't eat so fast. Eating fast is one of my things. And what's been amazing to me is how much I have finally felt things integrating. So, somebody mentioned the Course in Boundaries in the chat earlier. And, we did that in the summer. And I was like, I don't know if I'm feeling boundaries has kind of integrated yet. I'd start changing the way I eat. And suddenly it's like, whoa, where have my boundaries come from? and I'm suddenly feeling like my higher self is here now. And I've only made subtle changes. I haven't done the deep dive yet. And I'm just like, oh, this peace, this peace that's so important for our ascension. And of course, I'm going to hand over and let the guides explain why. But yeah, I'm going to hand over to the guides, because otherwise I'm just going to keep getting excited with you all and talking to you all. And I want this webinar to be experiential. I want you to experience it for yourselves. I want you to feel it for yourselves. And so I ask you, just commit to this webinar, put your phones off, be present. This might be the first bit of self-work you've done with your body for a while. So please, please give this webinar to you. And when you're ready, closing your eyes and feeling the muscles around your eyes relaxing as you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. Breathe in love and breathe out gratitude, feeling a column of source light coming into this time and this space, instantly raising your vibration. And in this source light, you experience your energy stretching out in all directions around you. You experience your energy being sealed from top to bottom. In white and golden light, so that only love and only light can enter into your energy. And a foot away, you feel the rainbow white and golden sacred source fires wrapping around your aura, so that any energy released from any direction can be instantly transmuted into love and light. And knowing that you are divinely protected, relax now in towards your body. And I ask that the highest level guidance that is in the highest good and greatest joy of all flows through me now. And we, the star councils of the light, come into circle and come in assistance to you, dear children of love. And we begin by placing you energetically in a chamber of light that initiates around your energy fields now. And as this chamber of light activates tetrahedron in its shape around your energy field now, some of you will be experiencing the sensation of your ears popping as if you are lifting off in an aeroplane, because there is an accelerated vibrational shift within your energy field as this chamber of light activates. And this chamber of light is going to be sending vibrations and frequencies into your cells, helping to clear out any of the patterns that are ready to be released, any residue vibrations that belong to your past but do not belong to your present. And those of you that are visual, you can experience this in your mind's eye. As many little lights streaming into your cells. And those of you that are more feeling based, you will simply sensate this. Either way, the experience of the light chamber that you are having is perfect. It is your experience. And this is partly why body love is so key. Because body love is your experience with life. Your body is the physical manifestation that is most you. And how you are treating your body is how you are treating yourself. And there isn't anything fancy or complex about this. It is simply so. How you are treating your body is how you are treating yourself. And we speak now about the frustration that many of you have experienced of not feeling like you are fully able to integrate or embody those truths that you know to be true, the law of abundance, the spiritual principles, the law of trust, and so on and so on and so on. All these things that you know to be true. And then when you are given the opportunity to live them, you seem not able to live by them. Or they simply do not manifest as truth in the map of your life. And we would like to begin this circle by explaining to you why. We say to you that separation consciousness in the body is a vibration. And the reality that was the age of Pisces has a vibration. And this reality vibrationally attracts to that which is a vibrational match for that reality. In other words, the third dimension. Now you have this vibration within yourselves because you are part of the third dimension. But you are also here to find a way into the fifth dimension, which is a different vibration. It is tuning into a different reality, a different frequency of creation. When you treat yourself in any way that is connected to separation, you vibrate separation within yourselves, and you create more vibrational resonance with the third dimension, with the Piscean reality, and with separation. And your journey at this time is to no longer create through separation, but to create through the dance of sovereignty and oneness. And now they are just asking me to explain that when we treat ourselves in a way that is unloving in any of those rituals of the body, all that can ever be created in our cellular vibration is separation consciousness. So if you skip a meal, not because you're consciously choosing not to, but because you're too busy and are essentially neglecting yourself, it is inevitable that separation is going to vibrate in your cells because you've just shown yourself neglect. When you do not let yourself rest and bully yourself and punish yourself by pushing through rather than honoring the need to rest, you are literally creating a part of you that is separated from another part of you. So the part of you, by ignoring part of yourself, you're not being holistic. You're not being in oneness consciousness within your own self. You are creating a vibration of separation. And every time that you do thoughts, words, and actions that create separation, what is happening in terms of your integration and embodiment is you are stopping these fifth dimensional belief systems, frequencies, vibrations from coming in, because you're still running the old separation consciousness. You're still full of the vibration of the third dimension. And your body is not able to hold the new. It is still a temple for separation consciousness. And we will say to you that there is no expectation in the habitual consciousness to do everything all at once. In fact, this is impossible, and it is not how creative realization, the physical manifest reality, works. But by changing subtly, by changing slowly, by meeting yourself and creating the change, by realizing, by making even subtle changes to those habits and repetitions, you are reweaving the container of your individual vibration. You are making your individual vibration a temple or a holder of love rather than a holder of separation. And so I'm just going to open my eyes now and ask if everybody understood that, and if you understand what the guides are saying. What the guides are saying is that, you know, how we treat our bodies is how we create our vibration. And so your vibration is the imprint that you put into the universe in every moment. And the universe is a call and response universe. And so what vibration we put in comes back and manifests. And the ones that we repeat the most come back and as our manifest physical reality, because the physical reality is the reflection of our habitual consciousness. That's why you can do one exercise class and it doesn't make much difference. But if you repeatedly do 10 minutes of exercise every day, your shape will change, you know? This is the like physics of manifestation, the physics of vibrational manifestation. It's all to do with what we're repeating. And because these four kind of subjects of the body, they're what we repeat every day. You know, they are having a huge impact on the overall general vibration of our body. And a lot of the patterns that we are running in food, in exercise, in spite of being really, really apt at self-work and learning to channel light language and all of these things, a lot of these patterns, you know, they're habitually still running the old separation stories. And so if you felt neglected in the way that you received love as a child, then that neglect is going to be habiting in the way that you're eating. If you felt like, you know, if you felt like it wasn't okay to be the force of yourself, then you're going to not allow the full amount of life force energy to flow through you. And it's going to mean that you don't let yourself feel beautiful every day. You don't make beautiful choices, you hide. And of course, all of this is rooted in the shadow and the deep subconscious, because we do it habitually. We don't consciously do these things, we do them habitually, and so they're affected by our deep subconscious, our past memory. And that's why it's so wonderful this is happening on the precipice of the eclipse, because this is the right time to be diving into the deep subconscious and finding out why your habits are the way they are. But what the guides want you to know is that, you know, there's no lying with body love. It's like how you are treating your body is how you are, is what is going on in your vibration. Doesn't matter how many other practices and heart opening things you're doing, how you're treating your body is the vibration of love that you are pitching at. And that's why those other things aren't fully downloading and aren't fully coming in, and they're only helping you so far. And the chamber of light that's been activated around you for this transmission, it is going to be clearing the things that you just recognize, that you go, oh yeah. It's going to be purifying those cellular habits. And that's why there's so much energy in this. And I do want you to ask questions. How are we to have the capacity to do energy work if we do not love and nourish the vessel? Exactly. You know, this is like when the guides are like, are you walking your talk? It's like, what kind of talk are you having with your body? And the thing is, you mustn't feel bad. What else is coming through is like, do not feel bad. We were all brought up in loving in the age of separation. And so there was actually a time in human history that wasn't that long ago that we were meant to be creating the vibration of separation in ourselves, because that is what we were here to experience. And things like neglect, that creates the vibration of separation. things like ignoring your body. That's how you create separation. It's actually quite a lot of work being separated when actually you're a multi-dimensional being. you know and so we've really developed ancestrally and through our conditioning of our childhood and socially many different ways to create this separation. It's just that now we're at the point where we have to unlearn that, where we have to stop playing that separation note and start playing this note of oneness, this note of the notes of the 5D. I'm just going to see if the guides have anything else to say. And we will say to you that every time you are living uncompassionately towards your body, you are living separation instead of compassion. You are living the 3D instead of the 5D. We speak now of why you, as Karila puts it, drop the ball on one or more of these areas when you are triggered. We say that this is because you experience a feeling of being separated, which is the trigger, the collective trigger for humanity at this time. And as you drop into separation consciousness, the archetypes of separation, the torturer, the abuser, the user, so on, begin to activate, begin to play out, begin to operate through the habits, through the rituals of the body. We speak now of how healing these habits can also heal your shadow, for it is a two-way flow between the shadow and the habitual consciousness. We say that nearly all of the times that you operate unconsciously, take for example, when you are triggered into abandonment in a relationship setting and you stop being honest and you start operating from a way that is manipulative to try and not be abandoned. We say what you are afraid of in that moment on the shadow level is being abandoned by the universe. But what you are afraid of in your body, in your nervous system, is how you treat yourself. Because is it not so that others are treating you better than you are treating yourself? How many of your triggers, how many of your patterns are about avoiding being left alone with yourself? Is this not separation consciousness manifest? And are you not terrified of being left alone with yourself because you are being neglectful to your own divinity? Or abusive, physically or verbally? Or punishing or torturing? Would you want to be left alone with yourself? And so we talk to you about being in your power, being in your integrity, being in your compassion, being able to hold your truth. And we say that this is so much more to do with how you are treating yourself than you realize. We say that coming to meet yourself in the rituals of your body with an open heart and willing to be really raw and really honest about where your self-love is will create such great, vast, and big change in the way that you operate with others. Because when you stop neglecting and abusing and separating from yourself, then and only then are you able to trust your truth. And I agree, it is shifting stagnant energy. There's so much energy moving through this transmission. I'm like, so when you attract people who don't respect us, yeah, your habitual consciousness is absolutely part of it's like the heartbeat. Your body is like the pulse of your vibrational body. Or your body is like the center of your vibrational body. And those rituals, they are the heartbeat. They are the pulse. And so, you're wanting to receive abundance, and you're doing every visualization under the sun to receive abundance, and every manifestation and every offering. But your pulse is still not receiving, is still neglectful, is still in lack in the way that you're eating. This is your pulse. These rituals are your pulse of your vibrational body. And so they will absolutely have a huge impact on what is coming back in reflection and who's coming back to show you. And, in shadow work, it's like if somebody's disrespecting you, you go in and you look at where you're creating that and why you're creating that. And it's about diving beyond the story, beyond the victim, into the part of you that is manifesting the belief that you should be disrespected. It's why I love shadow work, because there is nothing that you can't meet and work with and get a new perspective. And I'm so glad you're feeling the energy shifting, because it is so powerful tonight, because you're powerful and it's so aligned. So we are going to do a meditation. And obviously we don't have very long tonight. I have so much to say about shadow work. I have so much to say about Bodylove. The guides have loads to say. But we've only got so much time. And so I am actually going to just start by saying, if you are just like me going, oh my gosh, this is a missing piece, then please do check out the Bodylove live course that's happening in the eclipse window, because it is so powerful to actually journey with something like this when you're getting all of the tingles and the light bulb moments and things like that. The Bodylove course you know, because this is so connected to our, you know, neglect on the most basic level of eating or exercising, like this is deep stuff, and you can get so far with shadow work and self-reflection work on your own, but when you're on your own, you are holding yourself. And so by the nature of holding yourself means you cannot go as deep as you can go when somebody else is holding you, because you got to hold yourself. And so this is, you know, when we're talking about this very tender, raw to the bone stuff of like, how are you treating yourself in the pulse? Like, I recommend, if you are like me going, oh my gosh, I need this, this is for me, I recommend that you come to this course and receive the tribe and the space holders and the live channel transmissions that will be channeled around you and those that are called to this process, and have the accountability and the deep diving. And, you know, we're going to journey so deeply with each of these, and the guides are going to be transmitting, you know, what you're feeling from this light chamber. Imagine it being focused on each of the patterns. And then other things like temple alchemy, which is by far the best energetic practice that I know of for accessing and releasing the shadow. It's just, you know, there is nothing else that I know that gets you quicker to the core roots of the shadow than temple alchemy. And yeah, Amy's asking about the discount. If you're in the sanctuary, then the discount code is up, but anybody can join the sanctuary. You can leave at any time. Sanctuary is awesome, and that will get you 20% off the course. But I really think this is such a special opportunity to rewrite yourself, to rewrite your pulse. And, you know, I'm very grateful. Somebody saying I look beautiful. I feel like I have only touched the surface of this because I channel things live. And so I haven't even done the deep dive yet. And the shift that it's giving me, I'm just like, whoa, I'm in my body, you know, like, and everybody's saying like, you're so different. And I'm like, I know. Like, here's my higher self. And I'm still not even eating that well. Like, I've just made tiny adjustments, but those tiny adjustments to the pulse. So finally the pathways are opening up for the higher self and all of that inner work to drop in, you know. Like, it was like my body was still tight with the old story that was running in it wasn't running in my morning practice or the affirmations before I did to bed, but it was running in how I was eating and how I was exercising. And I was like, as the guides were speaking, I was like, yeah, of course my trauma patterns still run because I still neglect myself. So of course I'm like, don't abandon me. Leave me with this abusive person that is me. You know, like, of course your inner child's going to be like, don't abandon me, don't leave me, like, don't leave me with this person that can't feed me. Like, of course you're still going to run those patterns. Well, you still treat yourself that way. And, you know, of course there are many layers to how we treat ourselves, but what you will get from doing this course is tools for life. That means you can transmissions for life. That mean you can go in every time and meet what's going on in those rituals. Many energetic tools to deal with it, guidance, and probably most importantly, the insight, which is the beginning of the change. It is the igniting of the change. And so we're going to do this now. We're going to do this now. And we're going to journey to meet yourself within an everyday ritual. But I just feel like I want to know which one. Which one do you want to work on? I'm going to go with the majority. So just be like, food, rest, exercise, or beauty. Okay, the guides are saying they'll do a bit of food and a bit of rest, and they can do one for manifesting and one for meeting yourself. And the transmission is continuing. So closing your eyes. And feeling yourself inside this chamber of light. And many of you are expressing the level of energy that you are feeling. And we say that the chamber of light is transmitting. Light that could be described as similar to that of a tattoo removal. It is a lasering away of those old vibrations, of those old patterns. And we will do the manifestation with food, but we will invite you to meet your self-love in the way that you rest. And we ask you now to close your eyes. And to feel yourself dropping into your body. Coming in and listening inside your body. And as you come inside your body, bringing your awareness inside the cells of your body. We ask you to become aware of how you rest. Noticing in your awareness how you have rested, or if you have rested, within the last few days, and you absolutely should have rested. Rest is an everyday ritual. And we will say to you that many of you call your practice, such as your meditation and your self-work, rest, but this is self-work. Resting in its true form, resting in the form that is right for the body, does not involve self-development or self-improvement. Resting is the opposite. It is not improving yourself. It is the out breath of your presence, the simply relaxing into your self-acceptance, loving yourself right now. And remember to be brave. For those of you that have struggled with resting, many of you are running patterns in your cells. And other survival patterns of achievement, of loving yourself later on, of loving your potential, of loving yourself away from yourself. Some of you are running deep subconscious patterns from your past lives and ancestral memories. Promises to never rest until something is avenged, or until there is peace, or some impossible happening. And these promises in your deep subconscious simply will not let you rest. Some of you are running from something in your past, a childhood memory or some unforgiven moment of your life. That means you avoid accepting yourself. And be brave. Some of you are running those patterns of servitude and slavery. Come from the memories that if you rested, you would be beaten or worse. And so you beat yourself up, calling yourself lazy every time you rest. And many of you in this moment will be feeling the shame. And this is not shame from a past life, it is the shame that the body feels. The shame of being overpowered by your patterns, by the past life survival ways that exist within the Akashic memory of the cells, past life and ancestral. Some of you are simply scared of the dark. You are carrying the fear of the deep feminine that is so conditioned into your modern day consciousness. Not everything that is said will be resonating, but that which is. We ask you to simply listen to know that in the listening, it is moving from the unconscious habitual into the conscious habitual. And this is where it is able to receive the light of the light chamber. And we ask you to experience this light shining into that shame, into that tension, through that nervous system response to rest. Through the belief that the love of rest is not safe. And as this chamber of light floods the cells in the body, to holding this old vibration and pattern around rest. It is also shining into that shadow piece. Whichever one resonated. And there are, of course, many, many more. In rest, there is a lot of the energy of putting others before yourself, the pattern of self-sacrifice. And those of you that have this will spend your rest time contacting others, or being concerned or worrying for others. This also affects your resting into your own choices and your own decisions. And as these energies are transmitting, understand that the way that you rest is changing right here, right now. Resting is also about being held. Taking up space. Your worthiness is recharged by your rest. Your trust is recharged by your rest. Connecting to where you learned this pattern not to rest. And feeling this energetic unlearning. Being gifted to yourselves. And in the conversation of the body, at this time there is always two choices. You can meet yourself with separation, which will create more separation within your body. Ignoring your body's need for rest is you living separation. Or you can meet yourself with compassion. And the chamber of light is filling with the frequencies of compassion. As we ask you to think of what would have happened the last time you needed to rest, if you had been compassionate towards that need. What would you have done differently? We ask you to connect to your rest. It's the vibrational pulse of your acceptance. Noticing how the habits of your rest have been limiting your self-acceptance. And for many of us, there's this huge amount of tiredness coming up. And that tiredness is just the release of that old paradigm of self-acceptance. That wasn't very accepting by the feeling of it. And so just allowing that release, breathing it out. And some of you, especially if you're carrying that unforgiven part, those unforgiven moments, that mean we don't accept ourselves, that mean we don't rest because we don't accept ourselves. If that's happening, you might have quite a lot of emotion coming up, but it's coming up to clear. So you can just breathe that out, really feeling the support of the light chamber. It's really getting into those ancestral memories of Pisces are not our memories, not for us anymore. Survival mechanisms. Pisces don't belong. So just feeling this release happening. Whatever you're seeing, whatever you're recognizing, that's what your body wants you to know. Doing really, really well. And as this clears, I just want you to feel now the shift. As this new way of resting drops in. Notice how it feels to drop into this greater level of self-acceptance, because your body is your higher self. When we're living from our ego and our egoic consciousness, we're disembodied. When we're living our truth, we're embodied. Our body is part of the system of our higher self. It's not about reaching up, it's about reaching in. Just notice what it feels like to drop into your body. To have this new space and new permission to rest in your body. To love your body with rest. Just notice how that feels. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and come into the room and sharing. As you open your eyes, sharing in the room. What are you feeling? What are you feeling? Like, can you feel that space that's created just from this? It's like 20 minutes. So I'd love to hear from you. And so closing your eyes. And we are transmitting through the chamber of light into the space that your awareness has created. In your relationship with your body, we are transmitting frequencies of love and compassion, and we ask you to open up and receive these light, sound, vibrations, which are energies that can attune you, tuning you out of those separation feelings, or shame and guilt and unworthiness, and into the flows of love, the flows of life, the flows of compassion that surround you. And we speak as this happens about manifestation. We say that the cells in your body create a vibrational note, and this vibrational note is the range of resonance that your reality is. And so if you want to understand how you are manifesting, then look into the pulse, look into the rituals of the body. We speak about food. Food is how you receive love, how you receive life, and therefore how you receive your manifestations. We ask you to think of how easily and simply you are eating. For if your eating is not simple, your manifesting is not simple. If your eating is erratic, your manifesting power is erratic. Your power to receive your manifestations, to receive the physical reality, is erratic if your eating is erratic. If your eating is in patterns of reward and punishment, then your manifesting is in patterns of reward and punishment. We say when a manifestation is not showing up, one of the greatest things that you can do is make a meal from scratch that is holistic in the sense that it is full of pleasure and is healthy for you. Creating it consciously and eating it consciously. Receiving it through your senses and your pleasure. Food is the first pleasure. What is happening with your food is how you are living with pleasure. And as we transmit this to you, new pleasure codes, that will mean you have a greater sensory experience of the Palladian, the Palladian pleasure sound. As you receive these new pleasure codes, and heighten your sense of taste. We say to you that eating with pleasure is one of the greatest tools for receiving manifestation. And if you are eating with any kind of narrative that is saying you are being greedy, or attacking you, or limiting you in any way, with any kind of punishment or any kind of survival, this is happening in your manifestation. If you are eating for survival, then most likely you are manifesting enough money for survival. What you are eating will be reflecting in what you are manifesting. And more importantly, how you are eating will be reflecting in how you are receiving. And so we continue with this example of if you are simply eating to survive, then your everyday life will be on the treadmill of survival. Is it not so that the rich people that you know of, the people who live in abundance, celebrate and enjoy fine food, engage their taste buds? Guess what? They are practicing receiving with pleasure, receiving beyond survival. Understand that your body is the mechanics of your manifestation system. And as these codes of pleasure complete, we set you the home play. To simply try. Eating with more presence and more love. And being willing to rest even just a little more. And now the frequencies of compassion are transmitting in. You're being asked to be inside your body again. And notice how your body's changed. Notice the song of your body. So much of the body love journey is actually about making contact. Making new contact and first contact with your body. And really feeling the divinity of your body. Self-love is body love. Self-love is body love. Self-love is body love. I'm feeling the chamber of light sending an integration energy into you. And now this chamber of light is dissipating. And just noticing how you're feeling. As you breathe in love and breathe out gratitude. And the white and orange flames come through your energy, transmuting all energy that does not serve or belong into love and into light. And a golden rain shower of light comes down, taking any energy that is meant to go somewhere else, wherever it is in the highest good for it to go. And I invite you just to become aware of your body. Just noticing, how's the vibration in your body changed? Are you feeling lighter? Are you feeling brighter? Are you feeling more aware? Because we cannot habitually keep running Pisces. If we are going to manifest the new earth, we have to start habiting the new earth in the rituals of our body. And holding your heart, noticing how you're feeling. And I'd really like you all, because, you know, it's quite spacey, the light chamber and things like that. So I'd just like you all to really connect in and just put what you've got from this webinar into one sentence and share it. What has this webinar taught you about your body love? And put into words what you commit to doing. So I commit to resting that isn't self-working. I commit to actually resting. Let's close our eyes and send our love and gratitude to the star beings, and particularly for the Arcturians, for that amazing chamber of light, to Mother Earth, and to all plants, all animals, all minerals, all medicines, all of humankind, all of fire, all of earth, all of water, all of love, all of light, all of matter, all of mystery, all of source, all of self, to every single cell in our body, and to all of the beauty and embodiment that is happening now. So much love to you all. Thank you so much.